Hey everyone, Meg Bolger here from Facilitator Cards. So we have got a few more things to show you in mmhmm. So if you watched our basic video on how to build some scenes and some kind of facilitator essentials in mmhmm, this is going to be kind of a part 2. Show you around a couple more features and also help you bring in slides or images that you've created outside of mmhmm that you might want to use in your facilitations. So if you haven't watched that part 1 video, check out the link in one of these corners. It will be there for you to go back and watch. And let's get into bringing in some images that we used on other presentations. So I built some images in Canva that I really like, and I want to bring into mmhmm to use in a future workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and click New Slide, and instead of just building the slide in mmhmm, I'm going to click Media. So we have got an intro slide here, and I'm going to go ahead and click Open. So because I want to actually have this as like a large featured slide rather than just my logo slide, first thing I need to do again is click New Scene, right? So that'll allow this one to live separately. And now I can go ahead and like reasonably scale this slide for this scene. Okay, here we go. So the way I did this slide is I put these 3 images, that's all those are, onto a slide in Canva or in, you could do this in Google Slides as well. And then I just exported it with a transparent background. So that's why they're able to just kind of float. So these are 3 projects that I've worked on and that I've helped create. And so I wanted to be able to say, you know, if you're familiar with any of these, then you are already familiar with my work. So I wanted to be able to do that in this kind of like cool, subtle way. Again, this is what it will look like in Zoom when I'm on this slide. So that's the first image, is something that I built in Canva, just had these as JPEGs in Canva, and then I exported them as a transparent background. And now they look really cool in my Zoom window. So the other slides I want to do are going to look a little bit more normal as slides go. So we're going to go ahead and again select Media, and let's see if we can do more than one at a time. Great. So we're going to do, let's do them in order here and see if they come in that way. Okay. Awesome. They did. So now I can tell that this is just a little bit too big. So now I've got my 4 slides that I made in Canva, and now those are able to show up right in my Zoom window, and I can go ahead and easily click through them. So any slide you build in Canva, in PowerPoint, in Google Slides, as long as you have those as separate files, which I believe all of those softwares make it possible for you to export them as a single PNG or a PDF or as slightly different ones, then, or all distinctly different ones, then you can go ahead and do what we just did in mmhmm and import them. And what's awesome is it defaults to putting them all in the same scene so that they're all styled exactly the same. So if you are thinking, I really like the slides, but I don't like the transitions that happen when you move between them, on your computer at the very top of your computer, there's going to be the file, the edit, and the next one says slides. If you select that, you'll get this drop-down menu, and we've got slide transitions. So if you just go ahead and uncheck that, then they will just click. They'll just kind of move between without any of those slide transitions. So I'm going to put mine back on because I kind of like it. But again, it's just in rooms and then slide transitions. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is if you're wondering why my mmhmm setup looks a little different than yours, if you are on a PC, it is going to look a little bit different than if you are just on a Mac. The software, I think they're going to be updating it soon, but right now the PC version and the Mac version do look quite different. So now we know how to import our slides from other presentations or bring in other images to mmhmm, which can be really useful. Okay, just some fun bonus things before we wrap up this video. There's a few other things that I haven't practically used in a session, but you might find some really cool uses for. So there is a pointer, so that will allow you to use a laser pointer essentially in your session. Let me show you again what this will look like on Zoom. So again, I've got this, and maybe I'm like, hey, did you all see this lava lamp back here? If you hold down your mouse as you draw the pointer, it will actually draw a circle. There is this kind of wild pointer that's a magnifying glass. So let's see if we can find the facilitator cards on my, yep, there they are in my video with a magnifying glass. It's kind of wild. You can do some really weird things. Okay, so that's the pointer feature. Again, that is right up here in mmhmm. There is this really interesting thing that says away. So this is just like a I'll be right back message, and this is what will show up on your Zoom window. When you do that, if your audio is coming in through mmhmm, it will mute your audio. So that's just something to be aware of. And what else is kind of a fun thing? Oh yeah, okay. Now we're back. So if you are a Mac user, this is a really cool and I think very novel thing. So there's this thing called big hands. And if you do this, it will make like big hand gestures for a couple of different things. So we can count down. Let's see, can we do it? Okay, maybe we'll count up 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 and 5. Not the easiest for the computer to tell the difference between. There's also like, give me a call. There's also like a hang 10. And my personal favorite, which is a heart. So that's just kind of fun. If you were in a Zoom meeting and someone was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, love you guys, and that happened, I think you'd find that pretty awesome. I would find it incredibly novel and just fun. And I will say, if you're somebody who talks with their hands a lot, I might consider turning off big hands until you want them, because it'll go crazy trying to figure out what you want it to be doing. So that's again this big hands feature right here. So if we have it on, if we have it off, that's what it looks like. We've got effects. So not only can you style your room to look a particular way, so right here we've got the background. I'm going to turn the slide off for a second so you can see the background. So not only do we have these kind of different room looks, but we can also actually change I'm going to put back this on the screen share. We can also change how we look. So if we're in here, we can put on an effect that like really changes things up. So whether that's, I have a sort of, I want to set a different mood, or I want to draw more attention to the announcement I'm about to give, or if I have some kind of like sad but not serious information I might want to share, like it's going to be raining at the picnic tomorrow, those would be some fun effects that you can play around with. So I usually just leave those off, but I think it could be a fun thing to try out. All right, that's going to do it for our part 2 of mmhmm. I hope that you got some new ideas out of this. If you have questions for us about mmhmm, about how we're using it as facilitators, or just ideas that you want to leave and maybe suggest to us, I would love to hear those in the comments below. Let me go back here so you can see me even bigger. I'd love to hear those in the comments below. Please do subscribe if you are enjoying these videos. We do these kind of like tech facilitator, the intersection of kind of like tech and facilitator videos. That's one of the big things we're exploring on this channel. So please subscribe. If you watched all the way to this point, hit that like button. It helps us out and it helps other people know that this is worth watching. And until next time, everyone, happy facilitating.